My feet. Ooh, come on. You
Okay.
looking like a snack.
Girl, looking like a somewhat of a snack. Someone in the car. In the car because I on the go. Can you hear me okay?
I can, but feed. So let me tell you,
Rah. Come on, baby.
for the
Come
come
on.
on, yes, for the
Hey
theme,
y'all.
for the theme of this Q&A. When I was listening to the song, I was like, no, Fee and I got to come into the song because
I
you
already know
know
what it
some
is.
of the
I
things
low
that were.
key. I low key know what it is. I low key.
Do you have
I'm
an
about to
idea? Because you know who my
kind
girl
of
is, and
you
you know she about to drop this fashion show tomorrow.
read the dopest on earth right now. Throw it up. I can't wait to be in a strip club. Sorry, ma.
What? Come on, Fee.
You know, I got that Atlanta in me. So that strip club is like the club. I wish I can get out. Like, I was supposed to be set up so I could show you these all the way down to my butt.
I had to do this intro.
This is V song too. I can see her doing
Come
her little dance. I have a
on.
video of it.
Bands make your girl go down. Nah. Come on. Come on.
I would throw my debit cards around. So yes, I was on my way. On my way. So thank you so
Phoebe.
much for having me. The interview was boss. You know, big ups to everybody that made a difference in my life. You know how you visualize something over and over, and I saw like, boom, there it was. The set was amazing. Everything about you and the
Fee.
crew was dope.
Fee.
LA,
Listen. Listen, like
LA
you literally, and I'm gonna get this sentence right this time. You literally came to LA.
came to, came to. I thought I did that kind of subtly, like came to.
You
I did. I think I
did.
did too.
Cause I was like, I was repeating myself. I was like, oh shit, I did not catch it. I kept saying like you came from LA to fuck with me. You came to
I
LA.
did, and I've had
And
technical difficulties posting today, so
yeah, girl, you didn't call me.
I've been kind of traveling
Oh,
down.
okay.
I'm an ATL shawty. You know,
Oh yes, okay,
come on
yes.
down, come on down.
Come on. You know, I'm
Come
gonna
on
send you some
down. Me
voice
at
notes
Disney
on the side.
World. Come on down. Yeah.
I'm gonna send you some voice notes on the side.
Come
Come on,
on.
let's do this.
Come on.
V, you were one of my favorite interviews, and then I know, and not to even be biased about it, but I also know like one of my shout out to Steven. I've been shouting him out. He has been my digital marketing consultant on
Love
everything
him.
from the flyers to everything that we made, and
He's so dope.
you were one of his favorite interviews, if not his favorite interview. And
Thank you.
you come from the biggest thing that stood out to him, and
Missy.
as he and I were kind of going over the questions and some bullet points that we really wanted to make sure hit close to home. Like we're in this season in our lives where like black is in, black is happening. Everyone is thinking about black, 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 but you have been on this for a long time. There's been a lineage of entrepreneurship and
Yes.
entrepreneurial efforts in your family. And now you're at a place where you're building generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to kind of elaborate a little bit more on what that lineage looked like, how you got to where you are, and then what does building generational wealth look like as a black woman CEO?
It's kind of crazy because it feels like something that's just so natural for us. It's definitely people of color because, we didn't up until maybe this generation or maybe my mom's possibly, and that's like an elite black. But up until like, maybe our generation, which is maybe 6 and 7 generations from slavery, we didn't get to benefit from the corporate America white world nepotism and getting things handed down to us because we were surviving. So I think, this past generation, we're able to give our kids something. I am, I'm the third black woman entrepreneur in my family. My grandmother had a gas station candy store type of juke joint down in Delta, in the Mississippi Delta, which I worked at. All the kids, we went to, Mississippi for the summer. I worked there, So I watched this lady, be a lady at Head Start, work at Delta Elastic, retire, come home, open up at the cafe, which was right next door to her house. So that was birth, from as long as I can remember, I was going there every summer. Then my mom she's an entrepreneur, as you know, the interview was. And it's just the freedom it's always been hard work. I always remember my grandmother saying it's a stressful, I don't want my baby to have to do that. It's kind of weird that she would say that, and she was an entrepreneur too. But, you know, my mother's never said that to me though. She like, you know, you got to do you. The freedom of it is what I always wanted. The freedom of making your own decisions and not having that glass ceiling. How I plan, I'm not a mother yet, but I do plan on being a mother. And when I was growing up, it was just me and my mom. I was on my mom's road dog. You know, as long as I remember doing homework in the car. She's on the go all the time. You know, at one point she had 7 locations open, and she would get to every location every day. Every day. So it would be she picking me up from school, boom, we out. You know what I mean? So it's just I don't really know any other way. And I'm positive because, you know, my family don't believe in other people raising your kids, no nannies. A nanny could be around, but whatever. My kid will probably be around me. So hopefully it just boom, they get it.
Yeah. I mean, I know, you know, I'm even kind of going through the motions of where a lot of it had to do with us thinking short term. We're not thinking about the future. We're not thinking about
Survival.
but it's always been survival. And I always thought it was so interesting. Like when I first met you, I was like, wait, she has her own company. And I didn't really know much at the time. And then when we're hearing our story, and even shout out to Valencia, where she was like, she felt like she learned a little bit more about you
Right.
in
I
that
was like, why?
interview. Yeah. And so, you know, I remember I had an entrepreneurial spirit, but I really kind of struggled trying to get into my own thing, like during the pandemic. And so the journey of being a Black woman is one thing. The journey of being a Black woman in a space where there's people that don't look like you is a completely different thing, right? What have you had to deal with, and how have you come out on the other side?
Well, again, my background, I think a lot of times I feel like I'm built for it, even though I go through it. And like a lot of times my friends won't know a lot because I'm going through it, or, you know, or it's a good thing. And I'm not, you know, Capricorns, it's private. You fail privately, you succeed privately type of thing. But as a woman of color in business, like, what was the question again? I'm
As
sorry.
far as
I'm
like
watching my back.
no.
But I'm sorry. You know, you always gotta be on guard, because people and being in rooms where people are not like you, you are always on guard.
Yeah.
Amen. God brought me back. You're always on guard. You have to watch what you say in the tone, because I am one of my favorite words is bitch, and I embrace that. You know, the angry Black bitch. This year 2020, I was like, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love it, because people get in line for people they fear. Not even in no, you know, cut your head off queen type of dominion, but stop playing me. Stop trying me. Don't talk to me any kind of way. I told you to do this. Don't figure out. You know the vision. You might not know the step to get to the execution, but I know the vision. You believe in the vision. If you don't, you know. And men they have the title of shrewd. Women of all colors are gonna be bitches. So what I realized is I can't manage your opinion. I can't manage your emotions. I just got to be me. I have to be me. So if you pluck a feather over here, you might get plucked at. I'm going to be me. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be super loving if we rocking together. But it is a fight. It's a fight and I'm the owner. It's a fight within my company. It's a fight with my partners. And I'm always right. And I'm not saying that to be cocky. It always comes back to, we did this, you know what I mean? So it's like, what's the point? But I have to fight. It's just roll your sleeves up every day. Boxing type of stuff.
Girl, people over here like, woo child. Yes, my line sister East, she's in
Hey,
Atlanta.
y'all.
I mean, listen, you actually answered the question, right? Because as I hear you, like one thing I've always been struggling with is the answer no, and then like feeling like I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings. But like men, doesn't matter what color they are, men show up, ask for what they want, they don't blink, they don't hesitate, they don't do any of the things.
And they're gonna find another. And then I had, you know, one of the biggest things is if I saw Diddy, he said, if I go for a deal for $45 million and you offer me 43, you cannot I'm crazy enough. He said, I'm crazy enough to get up from the table. You know I don't have children, you know. If I had a husband, I wouldn't care. You know what I mean? I'm breadwinner. You know what I mean? Like, listen, if this is not what I asked for, you have to be able to get up and walk away. And that typically draws them to you. There's always going to be a deal. One door closes. When they say that is not cliche. One deal happens. I've seen how it's done now. I'm in the M&A business now, baby. I'm going to get 12 of them. So you have to have faith, you know, and get up. Like, I'm not I can't allow you to do me this, because you wouldn't do Billy, Bob, Sarah, or Kelly like that. And no, I have a lot of white friends. You know, I know everybody say, "Oh my God," I said the most racist thing you can say when you say something kind of, shady. But my name's Phoebe. That might can fit up in there if that gives me anything. But you're
Yes.
not gonna pay them something disrespectful. You're not gonna offer them something
Right.
disrespectful. You're not gonna shit on them and don't require know that legal's coming after you.
Right.
So be white.
Right.
Walk into your white man audacity. Be your white. I made a joke with you before. You heard this joke, I think. Like, I have white man audacity. I have white man.
And
I'm gonna
sometimes it's
ask
like
you.
mediocre white man audacity, right? Like, not all white men are mediocre, but like the fact of like they tell you to walk into the room with the confidence of a mediocre white man. I can't tell you how
A
many times
mediocre, just a regular. I'm about to say a small, not even super big body, super
yeah.
rich, wealthy, second generational, third generational, just a white man. Have the audacity to ask what you want, get what you want. If it's not what it is, walk away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, and I'm getting stronger in that as years go on. I'm getting
Yeah.
worse and worse. So they should just go ahead, give me what I asked for, because it's gonna be fair.
Right. And the one thing I want to make very clear to everybody else is, a lot of people get all sensitive, like, oh my gosh, but this is Black people and Black women's experiences. And so
Right.
for us to be told that we have to show up as a white man, well, one, our gender, or we identify as women, that you're telling me I have to show up as another gender because that's the voice that is more important and that's heard and taken more seriously. So I just want to at least make that very clear for those that act like, oh my gosh, you can't say that,
You
and
can't
it's
say that.
like, no.
Or and if you want me to be gender safe, I can't show up as a white woman because that is considered differently too in
Yep.
America. I'm not gonna cry in front of you. I'm gonna cry in the car. I'm gonna cry in that rave. I'm gonna bust it down as soon as I get to the door. Bow. But in front of you, I'm not gonna cry because that has a negative connotation that usually goes towards white women. So be a white man.
Wait, white men have the balls of Montana when their dick is the size of Delaware. Come on, Ish. That's my line sister. She is funny.
Ish, you better.
And my other line
Ish, you
sister,
better talk.
what line sister Tristan said was like, call the thing a thing. That's exactly what it is, right? And so I'm, like I said, and then my former boss mentor, she knows, so
Yes,
she has to
Ish.
always sit in rooms with white men telling her what Black audiences wanted to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to show up completely differently, and that takes a toll on you.
I mean, even with the writers in this, you can tell when it's a Black writer in any show. You can tell if it's a Black show and white writers. It's like, come on, it makes no sense to put the person that is representing that whatever. I will get on a tangent.
Yes. Okay. Let's go. I already knew. I was ready for you. Okay.
Car starting to behind. I'm just unprofessional father. Thank you though.
There was a comment that I saw that you made because it affects you as a Black business owner. So the White House resident started rolling back critical race theory, diversity training, and I wanted to understand more so like how that will affect any type of Black-owned businesses or people that fall under that check those boxes where pulling or scaling that back can affect you all from a business standpoint.
But let me first start here by saying, if you are a person of color, a woman, a veteran, or anything from any person from a disadvantaged class, do not ever be upset about checking that box. When are you ever paid to be Black or a woman? Check that box. And even if you're in that room because that box is checked, then now that you're in the room, you get what you want.
Right.
It's going to affect me in two different ways. I have a consulting business with my mother, a diversity and inclusion business that we just started this year. It was something that we've always been really passionate about, but she got a client. And me, you know how we roll, you got to bring my daughter in too. Same thing. She get paid for my company as well, but we work together as a good team. We have to stop teaching certain things like unconscious bias, for example. By November, we can get it in by November 28th, get them all those. And the clients that we have, the clients that we have are angry. They're pissed. That's how you know what we're teaching, what we're relearning America with our programs and other programs, amazing programs across the country, is really affecting someone because somebody had to get pissed. Like, I'm just tired of hearing the truth. Because otherwise it wouldn't have worked its way up to the president in the White House. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have worked. It's pissing somebody off. But get this. Affirmative action, I'm going to be real quick. Affirmative action was started in 1619 because brown people were here. So they had to establish something for them. So when you hear things like, oh, you're only here because you're Black. I had a 3.8, baby. I didn't have it. You know what I mean? I couldn't be mediocre to take advantage of anything. You know what I mean? That's Black. So number one, my company with clients, we're not going to be able to teach certain things, which we're getting, representation with legal. And one of our girls' age probably knows exactly what to do because that's what she does in law. And with my company with uniforms, a lot of our clients are federally funded. They have their federal contracts, not only with the trainings. If they decide, I'm tired of giving this Negro with a hard ER a contract just because she is a hard ER and she's a woman. She does good business, don't get me wrong, but I just don't want to do that anymore. Could possibly pull a contract.
Right.
And we have several federal contracts, and that's airports, hospitals, anything your federal tax dollars put money on, school systems. I have you know what I mean? Any of those contracts, they'd be like, we don't like Phoebe,
right.
She's black. So it is going to affect everyone.
Yeah. I gotta start using the hard ER, right? Like
hard ER, because it's a different, AH or just A, it's a difference.
The horde ER, like
that horde
from
that
Cali,
horde. My mother
yeah,
made them both.
With me being, because again, like I said, like I'm ignorant to it because I know you've been in business longer, and you definitely check the boxes because it's obviously benefited you to get the things right that the government pays for these Black-owned businesses or Black women-owned businesses.
I mean, we gotta work hard. We're not just handed bids.
Right.
I couldn't win a bid, do an RFP or request for proposal and win it if I didn't have good pricing, if I didn't have the services required, everything 100 page. If I didn't have that, I'm just getting added 5 points because I'm Black.
Right.
No, stop playing with us.
Yes.
But that's what it is.
Right. Yeah, because I'm reading like a comment from my last sister. She said that he said this on Tuesday and stopped the racial sensitivity training with the government because he felt like it. Like there was no other
it was. And what is wrong with learning how to be sensitive to others in a workplace and make everyone feel included? What's wrong with that?
Well, we're dealing with a narcissist that does.
We're dealing with somebody who will not say the white supremacy is existing or is anything. Stand back.
Yeah.
So
stand back, stand by, right?
Stand by.
Ooh, yeah, stand by to get kicked out this motherfucking White House in November. Let's be clear. Okay, we're not even going to go down.
I'm praying, girl. Cause
listen,
it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them.
Tell you.
One thing about it is that people of color, we don't, Black president. I love President Obama. Forever FLOTUS, forever first person. But presidents and governments don't do for us typically.
Yeah,
we always have to find other ways to get it busy. You know what I mean? So I'm not. Trump didn't pay me before. Trump didn't save me no taxes. Republicans kind of did. Republicans, uphold this MBE certification stuff more so than Democrats sometimes in local communities. But I'm green. Can't remember what I was about to say.
No, but someone asked, where do you find the support? Friends, family, other entrepreneurs? That was a question from the.
So I have been very, very blessed to just have, just fall into the lap of people. Like I'm the new friend of the Fab Eight. Like everybody has known each other for like 5+ years. I was like, up y'all,
hey,
my friends, hey, best friends, and then everybody has been abrasive. Like, hey, girl, like come over here. When does that happen with Black women? It always happens. They tell us something different. Black women have been all my mentors. Like all of my women mentors, my mama, my grandmother, women, in New York, just. All of my mentors have mostly been Black women and other men. White men have helped me a little bit when it benefited them. But all of my friends, for the most part, are entrepreneurs. And if they're not hanging around me, they're going to have a side hustle eventually because it's just all I talk about. So, You know what I mean? That's all people call me for. I love it. NMSDC, which is the National Minority Supplier Diversity Council. I was the inaugural class MVP. In the I program, which is the Emerging Young Entrepreneurs. I have friends from each session. I think they were in year 8 if we would have had, or year 7 or year 8 if we would have had a physical conference, which would have been this month. But I have every year, first season, second season, like it's a TV show. I have friends in each one of those classes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you find your place. When you get out there, you tell people what you do, they'll gravitate to you. Your circle going to gravitate to you.
I love it. Something that we've always vibed with, because our communication picked up when I was in South Florida. Oh gosh, it seems so long ago now.
It honestly seems like 8 years ago.
Woo! And you know, the motivation to elevate Black people and Black stories is not lost on me as it relates to you. And the one thing that I thought about was, I mean, I keep thinking about like, as a Black woman, you know, the theme that's been going on after like the whole Megan and Tory thing is like, Black women, do you feel protected? Do you feel supported? And so I just wanted to know your experience. How have you kept yourself going as a Black woman? You know, we're disrespected and hurt by the same Black men, and even same Black women that's supposed to be uplifting each other and building each other up. Like, how have you been managing? Because just to kind of curious on if anybody else is struggling with some of those things as well.
Um, like I said, I think I have been a little bit lucky with having amazing women around me all
Mm-hmm.
of my life. Even the messy golden girls in my family, you know what I mean, that would start stuff with us. Like they would also pull up their sleeves and fight anybody in the streets for you too. So, I also you see the people with the Tory Lanes. Even the fact that we are even having a conversation when a woman says that she's hurt, a woman, especially a Black woman, we always have to come with credentials or mad receipts. Mad receipts. You wonder why people get molested, hurt, raped, and never say nothing. You're gonna call me a hoe. You're gonna say, especially me, who's a dresser. If I get raped in the streets because of what I want to wear, because I'm gonna wear what I want to wear, I'm gonna think about that before reporting it. What was you wearing? What were you doing? Were you being flirtatious? Were you being suggestive? But with all that said, I'm the baby of my family. I have an older brother who's 8 years older than me, and my father, who had me at 40 years old. He had a lot of kids, but he had me at 40. He was a different man by that time. I've never felt unprotected until my father died, and my brother stepped right up. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I've known that there was two type of NIGGs. Like I've known that there's two different. There's ones that's gonna be like that's gonna support a Tory Lanez. You know what I mean? I don't care what she did, and I used to have hands. Think I have hands and box with men because I have brothers. My father was like, nah, never. But still, there would have been no reason for her to get shot. It just shows the mentality, and you have men that stand on the other side that there is nothing I wouldn't do for my women. I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of those women. I know a lot of those Black women, Black men. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to be like, y'all don't protect us. I'll be like, y'all stupid. You're dumb. And that's why you don't have a woman. That's why you don't got no money. Because usually it's the broke ones that talk like that. It's usually the broke
You
ones
ain't
that's
got no
like, Tory,
money.
that man, that woman trying to, ruin his career. No, Tory ruined his career. You know the type of man. And I don't deal with broke, typically. Unless I ain't know you
Yes.
was broke.
No, you know what's so funny? I thought, because I said this to you in a voice note. The one thing, the place that I'm at, as far as like, I'm always going to love up on us. I love us. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love Black women. I just love us. And
I do.
what's not lost on me either is, so for instance, like I mentioned it in the voice note, and I was just like, girl, there's this guy that I call Protector Bay.
Come on, Protector Bay.
But here's the thing, like all jokes aside, I felt so safe and protected in that moment, and he never met me. Like we didn't know each other. Like we met that day or like the day before,
Oh,
and in that moment, it was just instinctual for him, Phoebe. And I feel like in these moments where we need each other the most, we need to affirm each other. We need to support each other,
mm-hmm.
and I just want us to move away from if the goal is to really cement celebrating us, the stories, and really being behind us, like we still got to step up and at least make sure
Absolutely.
if like my line sister was like, you got to follow her from her because like she fucks with you from like just your whole energy and your conversation. But what I'm saying is like the fact that like we can support each other as Black women, and I just feel like there needs to be more of that. And it's the same thing. Like, okay, yes, not every Black man feels like they have to qualify the Black woman that they want to protect. But like if
Right.
you meet somebody, like let's uplift them, let's celebrate them, right? But what I am moving
Mm-hmm.
away from though, Phoebe, is in the gist of us celebrating Black stories and advocating for us is like I'm no longer interested in defending, protecting,
Mm.
advocating for men that have hurt me, have disrespected me, have caused me pain. Because I would still Megan did the same thing for Tori. She didn't say anything because
I was mad at her. I was pissed.
but
Like, tell on that
these are the
nigga.
things that as women we think about though, as Black women we think about. Like we
And I
don't
have a
want to hear.
brother. I have a lot of brothers actually, and I have my favorite cousin 3 months under me. I'm a boy girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like all the
Right.
men are close. My best friend. Yo, but I'm not supporting. You can't condone no recklessness.
Yes.
Reckless. My brother has always said, and I have rather he's walked his walk, but I've seen him. I wouldn't want that done to my sister. You know, he got mad chicks, but he don't lie to nobody. I wouldn't. If you decide you want to deal with a dude that date a lot of girls, and he told you the truth, sis, that's on you. But that man didn't lie, so he doesn't lie. You know, it's just certain things. You handle yourself how you want your daughter, your son. But I know well enough that that's a narrative, just like they told us a long time ago that there was more black men in jail than there was in school. That's never been true. I got to fact check, but I think I know that that's never been true. But if you believe a narrative, more black men marry black women than anything, successful men, but you hear a narrative that 10% of successful black men marry outside their race, you start to believe it because that's what they push. That's not the case. Black men love me. You know what I mean? They love you. They love all my friends. You know, so I think we just got to live in our truths, you know.
Yeah. How do
They be
we,
bitter people.
what, because someone was like, when's your podcast coming, sis? What, so how do we really continue to elevate and celebrate these stories? Like, I use my platform, right? Like, I got the podcast coming back out because I'm, you know, After Dark is going on hiatus. But I want us to talk about, like, what can we do, Phoebe? I love our energy. Like, what do you see or what would you want to do in order
Love
to
our
continue
energy.
elevating? Yeah. We might need to do something, Phoebe.
Well, you know, I'm waiting for
We
my
might need to
checks
do
to
like
get
a
together
weekly
so I can.
live.
I've been telling you this for years. You know, I'm cool. I'm definitely on that. I've been trying to like get you and Kim. Like
Yes.
you know, I have been dropping seeds. Like, you know, I think it would be cool. We had a, you know, people would
We-
love to see the struggle, love, and I'm pretty transparent on, you know, business. I might not tell you my business, my love life business, but on, you know, you trying to make it and knowing that I benefited from, or am I breaking up, y'all? Okay, knowing that I benefited from a circle, I would love to provide that to somebody. You know what I mean? If it's only one person, you know. Okay. I feel like I'm breaking up a little. But yeah, in this car, girl, on the way I would ride, you know, I'd drive to New York on you, like, but come on.